to another episode of Storytime. Since it's been a little bit since we had our friend Poe join us, we thought today would be a great day for Poe to come out and say hello to you guys for our Storytime today. And today we're actually going to be reading a story called A House for Hermit Crab. Now you might wonder, well, why would you bring out a chicken if you're reading a story about a hermit crab? And it's actually about a hermit crab that loves to add things to his shell to make his shell as pretty as can be. And that's one of Poe's most favorite things to do too. Now she doesn't have a shell to make herself as pretty as can be, but one of the things that she does to keep herself clean and healthy is preen or clean her feathers. And one of her most favorite enrichment items, the things that she loves to do here at the zoo, is to get one of her mirrors. And she loves to look at herself in the mirror and preen her feathers too. So she knows all about making herself look very fancy and pretty, don't you, Poe? A House for Hermit Crab. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me, he thought. I must find a new house soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside it, to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looked so well, so plain, thought Hermit Crab. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It is so plain. It needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the sea floor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. How tidy and hard-working you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house? I would, offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. How fierce you look, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to protect my house? I would, answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. It's so dark in here, thought Hermit Crab. How dim it is, murmured the sea anemone. How gloomy it is, whispered the starfish. How murky it is, complained the coral. I can't see, said the snail. It's like it's nighttime, cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. "How bright you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to light up our house?" "I would," replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "How sturdy you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" "Not at all," answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. "Now my house is perfect," cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt that his tiny shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon, he would have to find another, bigger home. But he had come to love his friends, the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. "They have been so good to me," thought Hermit Crab. "They are like a family. How can I ever leave them?" In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. "I have outgrown my shell," she said. "Would you know of a place for me?" "I have outgrown my house too," answered the hermit crab. "I must move on. You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends." "I promise," said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. "Couldn't stay in that little shell forever," said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon, he spied the perfect house, a big, empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. The end. Thank you so much for joining us for today's story time. Be sure to stop by the zoo this weekend on Saturday, September 18th for International Red Panda Day. We'll be celebrating our red pandas here at the zoo, and there'll be a station to learn a little bit more about red pandas during your visit. Also, we've been reading lots of stories here over the past few months, and we'd love to hear from you. If you have any stories to recommend, Poe especially would like to know if there's any stories about chickens out there that we could read to her too. But if you have any stories that you'd like us to read in one of our videos, please feel free to comment, to send us an email, and let us know. We'd be happy to increase our library, add some more stories to our collection here, and add some stories that are some of your favorites at home. See you guys soon!